Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of our viewers and listeners tuning in with us here on INC Radio Texas. Sat- Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of our viewers and listeners tuning in with us here at INC Radio Texas Satellite Studio. Today, I'm your host, Brother Justin Talioga, and it is currently Friday night at 9:02 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And thank you so much for tuning in with us. And before we move on with our show, let's go ahead and see who else here is with us tonight. So we have Sister Mayfan. Sister Mayfan, how are you today?
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, at magandang gabi. Most importantly, good evening to all our viewers and listeners. Listeners out there. I'm Sister Mayfan Mays, from the local of Sugarland, of course, District of Texas, hosting together Brothers Justin for tonight's show.
Yes, a good evening to you, Sister Mayfan. Ooh, I still need to get used to saying that. And
Yes, I feel like we all do.
yes, of course, live from here in Austin, Texas. It is Friday night INC Radio. Okay, and we also have Sister Jamie with us, one of our other hosts. Sister Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing great in the really strange way for this evening. But good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. I'm Sister Jamie coming to you from Austin, Texas. And thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us.
Oh yes, no better way to start off the weekend with a wonderful broadcast of INC Radio Texas Satellite Studio. And looks like we already have quite a bit of viewers and listeners who are tuning in with us here. Let's see who else who is tuning in with us. We have our very own district CFO overseer, Brother Matt Carl Talents, who says, "Hello, Brother Noel Caritativo and family. Hello, Brother Chody Sampson, who is our assistant district minister. Greetings from hashtag Corpus Christi." We also have Ramel Aquino tuning in from Killeen, Texas. We also have our very own district supervising minister, Brother Noel Cadetitivo, tuning in with us from Humboldt, Texas. We have Nora Galapon Cadetitivo tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. We also have Nina Pablo tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. I'm seeing quite a bit of our own viewers and listeners tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. So if you're from Humboldt, Texas, from that area, then please make some noise in the live YouTube chat. We also have Timothy Wilcox tuning in from Universal City, and we also have Raquel Cayabiab tuning in from Corpus Christi. And we also have Regine Quitalik, who's actually one of our producers from over there in Orange County, California. So thank you so much to all of our viewers and listeners who are tuning in with us here in INTV, Texas. Now, so for our topic for today, we're going to ask everyone, and some of you have already been answering this on our live YouTube chat. We're going to be asking everyone, why travel? Sister Mayfan, Sister Jamie, why travel? Why? Why?
Run
Why
away from
not?
problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Why?
not?
Why
Right,
or why
run
not?
away from problems. I love it. Or your reality, right? Just run away from your reality for at least that, short period of a time. But yeah, no, totally.
Yes.
A
Okay.
good
And then,
reason.
yes, thank you so much. And yeah, so that's going to be our topic for today. And of course, we can never have our topic without our question of the day, which is whether it would be a few hours from home or on the other side of the globe. Why do you travel? So please answer that question. Our live YouTube chat. We'll be sure to read your answer at some point during our show. So let's go ahead and open the floor to our panelists here. So, uh, Do you have experience when it comes to exploring new cities? I know all of us here on this discussion have traveled to somewhere that was quite a distance in the last few months, or for some in the last few weeks. Um, so, do you have experience when it comes to exploring new cities, and also tell us where you have visited to?
I believe you're talking about me.
I'm talking about
Unless I think
everyone here, all
Jamie.
three of us.
Unless I think Jamie went somewhere that we don't know. But yes, I have been traveling a lot. So I think that's one of my goals before the 2024 year ends. Just to go to places everywhere. So why I travel is to distress mostly from the hustle and bustle of everything, especially work. Because in the words of my higher ups, it's a very, very, very mentally draining work in this work field. So I'm taking advantage of that phrase, and every other month I get out of there and enjoy my vacation. So
I
why
think that's
travel? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to reset, right? Like I think you reset, mentally and physically. You kind of get away from your day to day, and you somehow like build appreciation. Like if you go to like a different place, and all of a sudden, like whatever it is that you're doing in, like or traveling to, somehow like you kind of build this appreciation for your home life, or kind of like what you do on a daily basis. So I think it's a really traveling also is a great way to just kind of reset. Like you to your point, like I think a lot of us go through a burnout, and I think it's it's necessary, it's key. I think it's healthy, for us to really like reset, like ourselves, and kind of grow appreciation again for, like for me, I totally agree with you, Sister Mayfair. Like it's just one of those things where I want to reset. And honestly, like it makes me miss performing in the choir. That's the other reason. It's the most interesting thing. It's like I'm gone for a whole week, but I feel like I've missed a whole like lifetime or something like that when I haven't. I know it sounds very corny. I haven't performed, my duty or anything like that. But it's a nice like kind of reset, because you come back, feeling fresh and ready and inspired and ready to go. So I think for me, like traveling is a way to reset, and also to gain some inspiration and appreciation for for your day to day. So yeah. What about your brother Justin? Like why travel? Why do you travel?
Well, of course, it's to see the people who I'm traveling to, like my family members who are over there in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is where I visited about oh wow, it was 3 4 months ago, back in June, and then was it June? It was June.
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't June.
I'm pretty sure it was June. Yeah, it was
It was.
June. I
It was
remember.
a month before I flew to Canada.
Yeah, for me it was June.
Okay, fine.
I'm pretty sure I would remember when I traveled to another state. But yeah, yeah, of course it would to see family that I haven't seen in a very long time, and to also meet the family members that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, it would definitely to be closer to family, to know who are these people that are in my family. I want to get to know them, and of course hang out with them, and also see what's going on in their lives, and also share with them what's going on in mine. So yeah, it would really be to see the people who I'm visiting, and of course, like what both of you said, it's definitely to just to it would definitely to be to do a reset. I remember during the pandemic, I actually made a trip to Dallas because one of our friends was graduating. Shout out to brother Vince Fortes from Washington D.C.
Woot woot.
And then and then so so what we did was, all of us, we got together. We were planning uh, um, uh, we were planning our trip over there, and then this trip was actually very timely because um, in the few months prior, Sister Mayfan, I don't know about you, but but during the semester, especially during the pandemic, it takes a toll on you.
It does. It does.
Or
I
it
would
did, it
agree.
did, it did, past tense.
I would agree.
And then when I came back and everyone was asking me, "Hey, how was Dallas?" And I'm like, I needed it. I needed it. Yeah, computers aren't the only things that need to be turned off and then back on for a few minutes.
Our brain does. Our social circle. All of those. They need a reset, a restart. What else do we need to reset and restart? Because we're talking about reset and then reconnect. Reconnect with friends and family. What else? What else? Why would we travel? Because
Well,
I feel
let's
like there's a
well be
lot of reasons.
well
And
before
surprising
we
right now, I'm blank.
well before we continue on, I've been seeing the live YouTube chat just blowing up with a lot of answers to our question of the day, like especially from username Ren Anthony, who says, "Why travel? It's the best way to form connections and give you reasons to keep coming back, especially food." And we also have Jane Kathleen, who says traveling is one of the best ways to change your perspective and experience of the world and learn other cultures and make new friends, try new food. Hashtag Corpus Christi. I know Sister Mayfan has learned quite a bit of new cultures, especially from Canada. And we also have, looks like we have a conversation happening here between Regina Quitalik and Brother David Domini, the resident minister from San Antonio, Texas. We also have Roger Lester Palabasan, who says, travel to broaden our horizon and experience life outside the comfort of your norms. I love that. It's good to step out a little bit outside your comfort zone every once in a while. We also have Bern Gonzaga, who's, I think this was when we were talking about burning out. Who is burning out? Watching here from Humboldt, Texas. And then we also have Priscilla Batan, who's tuning in from all the way from Rizal. Wow. So hello to everyone over there in Rizal. We also have the resident minister of Sugarland, Brother Ricky Bravo, who says hello to all brethren, especially to our district minister and assistant district minister, and to all brethren in the local congregation of Sugarland. And we also have Arturo Marfino, who says watching from hashtag Sugarland. And we also have Teodorico Sampson, who says traveling in different places is truly an adventure and a wonderful experience. And we also have Camille Riliera, who says one of the reasons I travel is to use that opportunity to give back to my parents and my family so they can also enjoy the fruits of their labors. It's very, I actually like that, Sister Camille. It's really nice to just travel and bring your family to as a way of giving back, as a way of saying thank you for everything they did for you. And that's all the time that we have for reading our comments on our live YouTube chat, and we'll try to get back to them whenever we're able to. So again, to our viewers and listeners, our question of the day, if you haven't answered it yet, it is whether it be a few hours from home or on the other side of the globe, why do you travel? So please send in your answers in our live YouTube chat, and we'll be sure to read them at some point during our show. So let's go ahead and get back to our panelists. So, was there anything that made your previous travels unique or unusual?
Um, from Texas.
It could be from Texas, because we know there are a lot of unique places to visit in Texas, or maybe not in Texas. Maybe it would be on the other side of the country, on the other side of the continent, on the other side of the globe.
Probably would be. It's not unique, but it made me feel a tad bit at home. Because Texas, you need to do a lot of driving. That's an ongoing issue. A lot of driving, less bus, no bicycle, no scooters.
Or
What else?
trains.
Or trains, just cars. So
The
going,
only trains that you would see are the ones that are carrying cargo materials,
yeah, I
rocks,
guess
coal.
You know,
packages.
I will say Texas is it has a very unique, I want to say diaspora, but it's interesting because you go like 3 hours north from Austin. You hit Dallas and it's a very different culture, right? You get to Austin and it's interesting because then my friends in California would ask me, what's Austin like? Well, it reminds me of Berkeley. Like it's very hippie. It's very, kind of like really truly when they say to keep Austin weird, it's like, it has its own kind of culture. Then you drive like, southeast, you hit Houston. Again, a totally different even San Antonio was only like an hour and a half away from us. I feel like when I've gone to San Antonio, it's like when they have all the it's just very historic. Like I feel like I'm in a different country actually. Because if you think about it, it was Mexico at one point, right? So then, and like a lot of that stayed. And then if you've ever driven west, like going to El Paso or going to like, like Marfa, it's desert. It's a kind of a fascinating, it's a huge, vast state, but totally like all these like different, cultures and also like different, like, yeah, like just in a different way of life in a way. So you really feel like, okay, I'm not in Austin anymore. At least that's how, like, I think that's how what I find unusual or unique
We're
about,
not in
anything
Kansas
about
anymore.
Texas. Exactly, exactly. Like you've definitely left the bubble, and you've gone to, like somewhere else. So I think that's what makes like Texas very, very unique. Like it's very, it's diverse in the sense that like you'll feel that you're definitely in a different place. So that's my take on that.
The
So
best sentence would be, "Am I still in Texas?"
yeah.
That's always the question once you get to a different city. Am I still in Texas?
I mean, it does take about 13 hours, I think, or more to get literally to leave the state to get to another
Actually,
state.
Is it
if
proven?
you okay, I remember this because Kuya Manley would always say this during our broadcast. So Kuya Manley, if you're watching this, please confirm with me. But he would say that driving from the very top part of Texas to the very bottom part, it would take 24 hours.
Oh wait, he did tell us that last time, I think. I don't know.
You're saying to the very tip, so you're talking about at the handle and all the way down.
It took 24 hours to do something. I forgot what it was, but I know it related to traveling.
Okay, but the many, many times that my husband and I have driven from Austin to California, I can tell you it takes forever to get out of Texas. Like you are still, I'm like, we're still in Texas. It's like, yes. So for at least I feel like it takes about like 13, 14 hours because by the time we get to Albuquerque, it's like, that's the time that it's like our stopping time. Like that's kind of like our stopping point where it's like, okay,
We gotta
we
rest.
start drive. Yeah, we rest and we drive again the next day. So I just feel like it takes forever. I thought it takes forever to get outside of California, but Texas is a different story. And it's interesting how flat it is. That's the other thing. It's just very flat.
See,
And
that's the
almost
thing.
disorienting. It's almost disorienting driving, to be honest. Like at least that's my experience. But yes.
That's the thing with Texas, because when I got to Seattle, me and my friend, we were just like, whoa.
Hills.
I
and
see
trees,
mountains.
water.
Yes,
I
mountains.
haven't
I'm
seen
really
mountains.
Sister Mayfen, I'm really glad you mentioned mountains because when I went to Hawaii earlier in the summer, uh I was just uh so mesmerized, if that's the word. Every time we drove by a mountain, which of course they're everywhere, and then yeah, every time we drove by a mountain, every time we drove by the ocean, which is again every time, and then I'm just like, I am far from Texas. I am far from Texas. Look, there's a mountain. Look, we're driving on the side of a mountain. Okay, can you drive now? Because I don't want to drive anymore, mainly because I feel dangerous.
No, that's me when I went to Seattle for the very first time. Like literally, we were like, so all of us had driver's license. All of us can drive, but we were looking at each other and like, so
You say that like it's a
who's driving?
disclaimer.
No, because the question is, so who's driving? And all of us had driver's license, and we're like, Mm, we're going
You're
up the
like, oh man,
mountains.
you're like, oh wow, I can't get out of this one. Someone has to share the shift.
Surprisingly, I did drive all of it, so I'm like, I really loved it. I like how nice the drivers are. No hate, no hate, but
I'm
they
sorry.
were
I
really
can't. I
nice.
can't. You know what? I have to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to say this, but Texas has the worst driver. I'm sorry. I'm
I didn't
sorry.
want to say
Nobody
it.
knows how to merge around here. They love to tailgate, which I don't understand why. But yeah, no, not a fan. Like honestly, that's why I was like, I'm so sad that there's not enough public transportation, like like a Caltrain or a BART train or some kind of like train system, that'll get me, to where I need to go because I really am not a fan of driving around here. But funny enough, I mean, I just came back from San Francisco and I'm like driving downtown San Francisco. And it's so cool because I was like, oh, I still know like my way around. And it's like, look at it. Everybody's so civilized. Everybody like, nobody tailgates and nobody like, tries to like, and everybody knows how to merge. But anyways, I mean, I know there's like other like, like, let me ask you this. Okay. Like going back to like, like the topic of travel and not driving. Are you a city person, like a city traveler, like you want to see like different cities, or are you like more of like a beach resort? I want to lay about, be lazy kind of a traveler. Like what do you think?
I'm
Like
a both.
you're both.
I'm a
For
both.
for me, I'm more on the beach side, on like the beach island side, and or beach island or really nature stuff. But of course, the only condition is that there should be phone signals, there should be internet signals because I can't live without that.
That's the
But
whole
I
point
just
of going to the mountains to detach.
well, I can't live without it. Plus, what if I get lost? I need to call for help somehow. What am I supposed to do? Carry a flare gun with me?
I mean, Karima,
But yeah, I like for me, I really like traveling on the nature side because it's like one of the best ways to just unwind and just smell the air, you know? Yeah,
I'm
and then
both. Because, oh, sorry for cutting you off.
no,
Continue.
it's fine. But yeah, it just gives you like a really good chance to just wind down and just looking at the space around you, like the trees and then lake. Like I think last time I legitimately went camping was back in 2021 when my uncle would invite us. Well, we had a cabin, he had a campfire and everything, and I'm like, this is good. I mean, I wish I had a phone signal, but this is nice.
I'm both because one, the city, well, mostly city propers, they have the restaurants. That means they have the food.
Yes.
But going out of the city, I'm a fan if they have a lot of nature. So I'll go with both because
Yes,
they're
see,
every place always has something to offer.
I like cities, city travels, but if I were to pick one, I'd like to go on the nature side. Plus, they make really good pictures too.
They
And
do.
then, since we're on the topic of travel, Sister Mayfan, what else do we have on our discussion for today, on our program today?
We do have our segment that is now continued. It is called the Texas Field Trips. So I think you're gonna be exploring with Brother Justin on this one. Where'd you go on this one?
Let's find out in this segment. So, Kuya Tech, whenever you're ready, we'll watch that video. Welcome to Texas Field Trips. As the temperature begins to cool down, join us as we take in some of the historical sites in downtown Austin, Texas. Okay, all right. So looks like our tech side is having just a little bit of difficulty. So while we are waiting for him, we'll just go ahead and just continue our discussion. So as we are on this topic of traveling, so So Sister Jamie, so when it comes to traveling, do you have any tips when it comes to traveling to our viewers and listeners?
Um, it's funny. I think traveling, if you do it enough, it's like a kind of a trial and error type of situation where you kind of learn as you go, and they like know that, okay, I'm not going to do that next time and all that good stuff. But my biggest thing is like researching. I love watching a lot of YouTube videos on certain cities. I'm definitely more of a city type of traveler than I am like, kind of the beach or nature person. So I love history. I love like kind of like exploring cultures and foods. So I'm definitely like one of those people who will watch like YouTube videos. Back in the day, I would read up on like travel books. That would be my thing. So that's what I do. Um, to me, like hydrating, drinking a lot of water. It's really interesting because just to prevent, like if you're traveling, obviously like overseas or something like that, or even just locally, like 3 hours to like New York or something, just hydrate so you don't feel jet lagged or like feel like like tired or whatever. So I try to avoid drinking, actually, weirdly enough, and I love coffee. I avoid drinking coffee. I know I try to avoid drinking coffee or any sodas. So I always just drink like just water, 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 water. And so that's like my biggest thing. And and fortunately, I'm one of those people who will fall asleep in a plane. So thankfully, I have that ability to
Not me.
I know switch off. Like if I know, like so for example, like I remember when my husband and I were traveling to Japan. It's like like you set the clock already. So then I gave myself like a couple hours. Like okay, I'm gonna watch like some shows or movie or whatever, and then I have an alarm that like okay, it's time to go to sleep. Like kind of like really
You have an alarm to put you
get
to sleep?
your no. It's just like when you're traveling, because then your
Oh,
your
okay.
your
I
time
think,
clock is
yeah.
still like
Conditioning yourself to
you're
the time
conditioning
zone.
yourself. Yeah.
Oh,
So
See.
okay,
yeah, and it's
okay.
like one of those things, you do the rituals. It's so true when they say like do your rituals like you're about to go to bed. It's like, you brush your teeth, like you do all of that stuff, like take off your makeup or whatever and relax. And so I take a melatonin and put an eye mask and put in earplugs and get really comfortable. And like I said, I'm one of those fortunate people who will fall asleep on a
You know,
plane ride and wake up, refreshed. So that's kind of like what I like.
yes,
I
for me, I am also someone who is able to fall asleep on
Oh, how
on
blessed you
planes,
guys
and then
are.
and then during my flight back home, I was like, I had a bunch of I had a bunch of DVD movies ready, and yes, I do still have them. And then I was like, okay, so I'm gonna watch these. I'm just gonna kill some time, and by the time I'm done, I'm gonna be back home. Yeah, I ended up not watching them at all because I was so
You fell
tired.
asleep.
And I'm actually glad Sister Jamie mentioned always hydrate, because this is how important it is for me to hydrate. I would take this out whether it be traveling or just at home, and then yeah, that's how much water I need. But yeah, so thank you so much, Sister Jamie, for sharing with us. And I think our video segment is ready for Texas field trip. So Quia Tech, whenever you're ready, let's see that video. To Texas field trips. As the temperature begins to cool down, join us as we take in some of the historical sites in downtown Austin, Texas. First, we visited the Ann Richards Congress Avenue Bridge, which shelters the largest urban bat colony in North America. Bats can best be seen here from around 7:30 p.m. to 9:45 p.m. during the months of April through October. The bridge also has a good view of Ladybird Lake where locals and tourists can go kayaking. Here was where we saw the Buford Tower, a training facility used by the Austin Fire Department between 1930 and 1970. We even visited Austin City Hall. Fun fact, the building has a feature structured to resemble an armadillo tail, one of the official state mammals. Before we ended our walk around the city, we winded down for breakfast and concluded our field trip. Keep tuning in to INCRadio Texas every Friday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, or every Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Philippine Time as we hit the road to see what other fun things there is to do around Texas. And don't forget to subscribe to our INC Radio YouTube channel. Thank you so much to our viewers and listeners who have tuned into our segment, Texas Field Trips. It was really nice to see the sites that our own city had to offer, and that was actually quite fun, wasn't it, Sister Jamie?
It was. We started at 7 a.m., which was perfect because it was nice and cool. And we actually did a scavenger hunt. So that's why you see us walking around with our phones. There was there's questions, and then you have to answer the question, and it brings you to the next location. So that was a great way to see. And it's interesting because we drive by that all the time and you never pay attention. So that allowed us to pay attention and kind of really like, oh, these are like historic parts of the city that we normally wouldn't have known. So that was fun. Yeah.
Yes, it's really nice to of course travel your own city every once in a while, because Sister Mayfan, sometimes you could travel to the other side of the globe, but of course you could also travel just in your own city, right?
I don't know about that, but yeah, I guess so. That's how I haven't traveled Houston that much because I only am here to just work and meet up with friends. So so now we're trying to make it like a routine that we go to new places every now and then, maybe a park or like, like an indoor playground that's gonna happen tomorrow. So if you're from Sugarland, you know what's going on. So those kind of stuff. So I think every Saturday we're gonna have to do that just to get together, reconnect, reset in our own city, travel around, and also going to walking around the city. Um I saw a comment down here from Ate Camille. She said, travel tip. Good shoes for when you walk a lot. This saves you for the next few days of travel you have left. This this leaves a mark because when we went to Calgary, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. I didn't think we would go up the mountain for a trail, and I wore the wrong pair of shoes. I learned a big lesson. It left a lot of bruises and a lot of splinters on my feet. I'm like, yeah, good pair of shoes. Note down. And also, one more tip for that, for everybody who just likes to travel light and you only have that personal baggage and the other one, the luggage carry on. So I've met a lot of friends who traveled and their carry on, I don't know, they get checked in for some reason, the flight is full. So one good reason is in your personal item, pack an extra cloth. Just one. Just in case your carry on disappears from your side or whatever happens, whatever goes wrong on that flight. Just to be ready, you know? That's the things that I've learned from traveling.
That is key. Like pack a extra outfit, and yeah, because that's happened to me before where my luggage was lost, but I packed the extra outfit, so I was okay. Eventually, the luggage made its way. So, and it's funny, it was lost in Seattle. So
I'm
there.
speechless.
Nothing went wrong with me in Seattle. So you took that away from me. No, just joking.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, Sister Jamie, Sister Mayfan, and also to all of our viewers and listeners for sharing with us here all of your thoughts when it comes to traveling. And before we head on over to our next segment, let's go ahead and see who else is tuning in with us. We have Maylin Soto, who says we travel to make memories and to catch up with family and friends. Greetings to all brethren in the District of Texas, to Brother Noel Caritativo and family. And we also have Jennifer Pestañez, who's tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. We have Elaine Cababang, who's tuning in from Houston, Texas. We have Jose Camarillo, who's tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. And we have Brother Michael Bew tuning in from Universal City. We have Rosalind Paderes. I hope I pronounced that right. And they're tuning in from, oh, I don't want to butcher this, but they're tuning in from Masbate. I think that's from the Philippines.
Masbate.
There you go. Thank you, Sister Mayfan. I need to work on that. We also have Albert Bonaus tuning in from Sugarland, Texas, and we also have Brother Joel Kambambang, the resident minister from Houston, Texas. And before we wrap up our show, let's take a look and see at some of the updates that have happened here in the Ecclesiastical District of Texas and our segment CFO in Action. Tech, whenever you're ready.
Brethren in the District of Texas prepared and participated in the Songs of Salvation event at the local congregation of Universal City. Select brethren from each locale congregation have dedicated their time and effort to practicing and learning special Iglesia Ni Cristo original compositions to perform in this activity. This event has showcased the talent of the brothers and sisters singing a cappella. The brethren from all over the district have gathered to show their love and support for the performer.
The performances today in the CFO, Songs of Salvation, was definitely uplifting. It was worth driving here for, and it reminded us really of why we're doing an event like this. And it wasn't about the competitive level. It was not about winning. It was truly about love for the church, love for the duties that we have within the church, and the love of the brotherhood. So I felt honored to be a part, to be a judge here, and we really felt the power of the Holy Spirit. The song selections were amazing. The rendition of the songs just gave such an uplifting, different perspective on the message of the song. So aside from the original composition, which was beautiful, the a cappella version with all the changes in their presentation of it was just added and made it more elaborate and another beautiful view of the song.
I was a local producer for the Songs of Salvation. We prepared by, of course, prayer. Everything was prayer, gathering everybody, different schedules, and we were able to get together to practice to produce this song. We're definitely really happy. Our goal, of course, was to win because it's a competition, but we always said if we didn't win, if we could have the message come across and touch at least one person's heart, we would be happy. So winning was definitely a bonus.
Well, the sacrifices that the brethren made, and those sometimes go unspoken, not just for time, but also for effort. By coming here, by singing hymns of praises, it actually not just, you can't measure the benefit and the blessings that came from an event like this. The edification is something that's felt, and that we came here a certain way to arrive here, and then now we're leaving more inspired spiritually.
The activity that we conducted today, which is the Songs of Salvation here in the Ecclesiastical District of Texas, was very successful. And the first and foremost reason that it has become successful is, of course, the help of our Almighty God. We have seen how much the participants prayed hard for them to be able to perform really well, to be able to bring joy to the ones who attended. And through their prayers and, of course, their unity, they were able to come up with worthwhile performances.
First of all, we would like to thank our Almighty Father in heaven for allowing us to hold this very significant activity of the CFO, Christian Family Organizations, within the Church of Christ. And we also would like to thank our beloved executive minister through our CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Iranio Vimanalo, for approving this activity here in our district of Texas. It truly strengthens our faith and hope for the salvation that we are about to receive. Through this activity, Songs of Salvation, we promise to our Lord God and to the church administration that we will all the more be active in all the endeavors of the church, especially in the work of propagation, so that more and more people will be added to the fold in these last days.
Through these kinds of activities launched by the church administration, the brethren are strengthened and edified in their faith. Joy and unity continue to spread in this ecclesiastical district, especially the participants who were dedicated to mastering the Iglesia ni Cristo original compositions. From Texas, I'm Brother Kim J. Manansala for CFO Update.
Thank you so much to our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here at INC Radio Texas Satellite Studio. And before we wrap up our show, of course, we can never forget to thank our District CFO Overseer, Brother Matt Carl Talons, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Trody Sampson, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, our Executive Producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI CEO, Brother Angel Arano V. Manalo, and of course, we can never forget to thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for all your support in these programs. And before we end our show, Sister Jamie, do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
Yes, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in this Friday evening, and it's so great to see everybody being active on the chat. So hopefully we see you again next week.
All right. And Sister Mayfan, how about you?
Sending my greetings to all my Sugarland people, Houston, and of course my previous district people who will be watching this maybe later on. I sent them the link. Sending you all my love, and I miss everybody down there. So, and for my Sugarland people, see you tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Sister Mayfan. And again, thank you to our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here on INTB Texas Satellite Studio. And if you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe to our INTB YouTube channel. That's INTB DZEM954. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is just click that subscribe button and also the notification bell button. That way you can receive all the updates of all the activities happening on here on our INT Radio YouTube channel. And don't forget to tune to INTB Texas, which is again every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or every Friday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.